Right. Oh, okay. So for today, I must say an apology, because we can't make it 1.5 hour. So probably for today you can have just 1 hour, and tomorrow we can continue for about 1.5. Then it's
Okay.
okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So that tomorrow probably we can cover advantage and disadvantage questions as well.
All right.
So you have four question types. And the next day we can have the tests, or probably if it's possible, then we can try one more question type, and
Okay.
by the end of the day we can do the test or the middle test and see how
Okay.
much the score that you have.
All right.
Okay, continue. Okay. So, so the lesson is predicting question. So in this case, in this question, you will be asked, or you will be needed to predict some future what's that future things that happen. Okay, look at the example. What will houses be like in the future? So
Okay.
will houses be like in the future? So you have to use, in this case, this question,
Mm-hmm.
uh, things that you need to know or you need to remember is that since it is the predicting question and it happens in the future, then you
Mm-hmm.
have to use simple future tense at least.
All right.
But if it's possible, try to use another type of the tenses too, like future perfect, if it's possible. So let's say you are kind of like sure that something will happen in the future, like, well, by 2050,
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite sure that the world
Mm-hmm.
will have suffered with famine, for example. Will have
Okay.
suffered with famine. I mean, like, for example, like you're quite sure about that, then you can use the future perfect tense to
Mm-hmm.
get a better score. But at least use the simple future. Not using, don't use any other tenses, because most of the tenses other than the present or future tense is
Mm-hmm.
going to be wrong. Okay,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
so look at the structure, how to answer this. As always, you have to begin with an opening linking phrases or linking structure. Like,
Mm-hmm.
certainly I'm sure that most people would agree that there will be a number of major changes related to this. Or you can use, I imagine that in the near future we will witness some major changes with regard to. Two, it depends on the question. Okay, it could be to houses, since the question is houses, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then introduce your first prediction. Like initially, I guess that we might begin to say something. Yeah, fill in the blank. Depends on your idea anyway. But here is the example. Initially, I guess that we might begin to see houses that are made of plastic materials,
Oh.
because this will be
Mm-hmm.
much cheaper and easier to construct. So no matter how silly your answer is, I mean, for example, like houses are made of plastic. I mean, it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
silly anyway, but still, when you're able to give the explanation
Mm-hmm.
or reason behind it, then it's still fine. Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have to be something that you know, something hard to think about. Okay,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and then now start to introduce your second prediction. Like at the same time, I suppose it's quite probable that we may have. So look at the example. At the same time, I suppose it's quite probable that we may have houses that are controlled by computer, because it will make home life
Oh.
much
Mm-hmm.
easier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
computer. Why? Because it will home life much easier, for example. Okay, and if it's possible, use the third prediction as well. Okay, the last one. Okay, the first and the second idea probably is not realistic, but the third one is commonly, I can say that it would be something that most unrealistic from comparing to
Mm-hmm.
the other two that we've mentioned. Okay, and you can use this phrases like, and who knows? It could even be possible that we see the arrival of something. Yeah. So the full answer probably this way. Certainly, I'm sure that most people would agree that there will be a number of major changes related to this.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, I guess that we might begin to see houses that are made of plastic materials because they will be much cheaper and easier to construct. At the same time, I suppose this will be, I suppose quite probable that we may have houses that are controlled by computer because this will make home life much easier. And who knows? Yeah, who knows is like the indication that you're you are unsure about your next idea. It could even be
Okay.
possible that we'll see the arrival of houses on the moon.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's quite. I mean, it's a lot easier than the previous question about comparing things. Yeah. Do you have any question?
May I screenshot first,
Okay.
sir?
From the beginning. Yeah.
Okay. Next slide, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sir. Next, please. Okay, second prediction. All right. Next, please, sir. Oh, third. Okay. Okay. The next one, sir. All right. Okay.
Right now, let's practice. Do you need time to prepare your answer?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Choose one.
Mm, wait. Will you? Okay. Use different words. Maybe uh the last one, sir.
This one. We will get news in different ways.
News, yeah.
Mhm. So you know that nowadays we get news from TV, sometimes newspaper, magazine, or probably online website. What about in the future? Do you think that we still have the same way to get the news?
Oh, future, yeah. Oh, okay.
In the future,
Okay, okay, okay.
probably yeah, probably you'll get something else like I don't know, like probably in the future we
Okay.
will get news from uh, I don't know, probably like it's kind of hard anyway. This type of this question about the news. We'll get the news by having chip on my mind, on our mind, probably inside our mind, maybe. So
Oh.
we don't have to search the news from the internet, but probably we can just access it from our mind, just thinking about it, and we'll get the news. Probably I don't know, like AI, artificial intelligence, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
So are you sure you want to use this idea, this question? It's quite hard anyway.
uh, but I'll try.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, let me gather your idea first. Tell me when you're ready.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Done?
I'm ready. I'll try.
Okay. Yep.
All right. Uh,
Mhm.
to begin with, I'd predict that uh, most likely
Mhm.
how we get the news in the future.
Mhm.
Uh, it is will getting from the mix or collaborating from the neuroscience and artificial intelligence. I mean that it will kind of some microchips that will be insert to our body or brain or
Mhm.
some or just like some uh yeah, maybe a robotic technology, uh like likewise I would imagine that uh in the future, the way that we get news,
Mhm.
it sounds like more. Oh, sorry, I mean that less time. Uh, we 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 will not use some extra time, but we will get the news from what we will what we thinking of, what we needed of, just like we sitting on our chair that we can get automatically the news what we needed immediately. I mean that it also could possible to protect or just short from the fake news. That's
Okay.
also.
Well, the first idea. Okay, what was the first idea? I didn't really get that. You say we kind of get the idea from the news. I
Uh,
mean,
I mean, I mean that the the making process or the source of the source of the we getting the news, like the collaboration from neuroscience and
I
artificial
see that. Okay.
intelligence.
Okay. So from neuroscience and neural intelligence, and then you put that in the second idea that people will get news just by thinking of it. Is it?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Wait. Because in you know that it's the first prediction and then the second prediction is somehow supposed to be different idea. Sometimes it's not
Mhm.
connected. If you see the example about houses, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Houses are made of plastic because it is easier to construct or something, right? And
Yeah.
since the
Cheaper.
case that you have mentioned before about the collaboration with the neuroscience something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, the second idea is supposed to be put in the first one, not the second. I mean, like it's actually connected idea.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
the collaboration between the neuroscience and I forgot the word explanation, so that people can access the information just by thinking of the information that they want to know about. So basically, it's
Okay.
still actually just one prediction, not two
All right.
predictions. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess you still need to get one more to make it right. Okay, this is my opinion.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, you got it. hmm
Yeah.
Okay, now let's try one more. Okay, different question.
Different question. Maybe up to you, sir.
Okay. I want to try the simplest one. I think the simplest one. This one. What will cars be like in the future?
Uh, uh, I will start now.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Uh, to begin with, I predict that oh, we will most likely uh, know that. Sorry. All right. In the future, uh, vehicles or specifically cars will be like it's something we we will or didn't happen now. I mean that in the future, uh, most of uh, cars will uh, will be like a flying cars like we seen in the science fiction movies. Yeah. So at the point in the future, the cars will no longer uh, get some stuck or maybe traffic jam in in the street like we I mean that we used to feel now. Uh, so that I will imagine that in in the future, the cars will possibly uh, no no needed for maybe some petrol or gas, but it could sorry it will be all can be rechargeable by bat battery, yeah, by battery. So it's more like our mobile phone now. Just if the battery is low, just you can recharge it, recharge the cars. I mean that.
Mm,
Yes,
okay.
answer.
Okay. So you're saying that the first idea we will begin to see flying car. The second
Yeah.
one we will begin to see cars that do not use petrol as their fuels.
Yeah, I mean like that.
Okay, but the way you explain it, it kind of a bit rounded anyway, especially with the second idea. The second one, you say that
Okay.
the cars would no needed petrol, kind of things. Would no needed petrol, would no needed petrol. Yes, right.
Uh-huh.
Probably the best one, yeah. Um, Probably we'll begin to see the cars that wouldn't use any petrol as their fuels. See, it's a lot better.
Oh,
Okay,
will not use.
wouldn't
Okay. Okay.
wouldn't use any petrol as their fuels, and then
Won't use.
most likely that in the future the cars Yeah, the cars are going to be something more like electrical car,
Oh, yeah.
more
Mm-hmm.
electrical
Mm-hmm.
cars
Yeah.
because it is more environmentally friendly.
Okay.
They don't produce any I forgot the name. What is the things and the gas that created the global warming?
Pollution or
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, it won't create any pollution, so that it will reduce the global warming quite significantly. Probably, right? Maybe
okay,
now it.
okay.
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 Next, I'm going to suggest for you that. Since you're in school, what about the first one? What will schools be like in the future? Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, sir. All right. Mm, certainly, to begin with, I predict that we will most likely imagine that uh, the schools in the future more likely just enrich, or we can say it more using of technology. I mean that in the future the schools will more running class on the online class, or just interact between teachers and students using the online technology, that it will the technology will uh, s- easier make it easier to uh, I mean that collaborate between teacher and student, although they are in the different location or just in different times. uh, I would imagine also that it possible in the future school uh, will not uh, have to attend in a regular class, but it it can in the future it can going by online class, or yeah, we can say that many modern technology we can use uh, for running the schools in the future.
Hmm. Okay. I'm trying. Okay. So the first idea, if I was not wrong, the
Mhm.
schools will use more technology, right, to
Yeah, right.
collaborate between
Hmm.
students and teachers. Is that true?
Yes, sir. Hmm. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then the second idea is we'll begin to see more online class.
Yeah, and there is no mm, will not use anymore the offline class. I mean that.
Can you repeat your sentence just now? Will not what? Will not
uh,
will not
will not use
will not use any
use in offline class anymore.
will not use offline class. Will not use offline class anymore. Okay, I see. Um. Okay. Anyway, the idea is quite good. I can clearly see the coherence. Just the way you structurize it was still needed to, like you even didn't use any phrases that I have told you. Like suddenly, I'm sure that most people agree. Initially, I guess that we might begin to say you don't use that. Like for the second idea, you sometimes use it, sometimes you don't. Okay, so you can, most likely you use like and also, like and also we begin to say something. Okay, so okay, probably it has been in your unconscious mind, so that it starts out, it pops out in your mind when you start losing out any idea about what you want to say. Okay, okay. um, yeah, I guess that is still around it anyway. It's still around it.
Okay.
Okay. From all the topics, which one did you think is the most easier for you? The easiest one for you from all the topics.
The easiest one.
I mean, like not the easiest one, the one that
uh,
you're most comfortable with.
uh, Wait, sir. Mm, oh, predict ya. Predict. Oh, maybe about the uh, types, but I don't think so. Maybe about public transport in the future, sir.
Okay, public transport. Mhm.
Yeah, public transport in the future. Okay. Uh, can I start now, sir?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Uh, to begin with,
Mhm.
I'd predict that in in the future, the public transportation will be like we 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 seen we often seen in some of uh, movies. Yeah, I mean that we will see in the future public transportation uh, more likely far away from traffic jam or crowded in the street because all of the public transportation uh, like maybe helicopter or flying cars, yeah, or I would imagine that in the future the public transportation more uh, I mean that more so the cheaper, yeah, cheaper, and maybe it will take less less time to get uh, move from one location to another location. Uh, and also it could be possible in the future uh, about the public transportation, uh, like we will uh, I mean that like a time machine. It could be that we can move from one location to another location, and also one time to another time. That's answer.
Okay. You said time machine.
Yeah.
Time machine to move from one location to another location.
Yeah, yeah.
As far as
I
I
mean
know,
that
time machine
it.
is used to transport or to travel from time to time, not from one location to another location, right? Is it?
Uh, but maybe someday.
Okay. 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 Probably it's not time machine, but probably is the best one is the door that is belong to Doraemon, right? So
Oh,
you can
okay.
travel, you can move from one place to another place, right?
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
Okay. Probably you can,
uh-huh.
but it's not public transport then. Can you say it's public transport? I guess instant.
Uh,
Okay. Um.
right.
And then the first idea. Okay. Before I move to that, I spotted that you sometimes forget to put the verb, like public transport more likely. Public transport more likely. I forgot the next word, but you say is like common. You're saying that quite common. So public transport more likely. It's supposed to be public transport is more likely to be something that, for example, that's supposed to be that way.
Right.
So like
Okay.
public transport is more likely to be more advanced, for example. So, but for
Right.
instance, I said that public transport more likely to be more advanced. So I forgot to put the verb. So it's very fatal because when the
Okay.
sentence without the verb is it cannot be put or cannot be said that it's a sentence.
Okay.
Um,
Mhm.
okay, about the idea, I just got the second idea about the time machine. The first idea,
Uh,
um, you said
I
something about
I mean that like the flying cars, so that it
okay,
it will not be some traffic jam or crowded in the street.
okay, okay, okay. So it's gonna be like flying car or flying bus, okay,
Yeah.
or okay, flying train. Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Okay, yeah. I guess the imagination is very high. Yeah, it's quite high. Um, well, for me, if I get this question, probably I just try to think it very simple. Like, um, in the future, probably we'll begin to see something like, yeah, the one said like a flying bus, probably, so that people can go around the city or to go to the place that they want to go to a lot
Mm-hmm.
easier and a lot
Mm-hmm.
faster. Um, at the same time, we might begin to see something like probably train with
Mm-hmm.
or train that is associated with rocket or nitro, for example, so that it's going to be a
Okay.
lot faster
Right.
than the previous train, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, probably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just in my okay. Okay, the next one then. So I mean like the don't forget to put the verb. So about the sentence because I I found it quite often for you. Like sometimes you forgot to put especially nominal sentence. Sometimes
Okay.
you
Yeah.
forgot to
Yeah.
put the verb like is or okay
All right. Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm, let's talk about this. What kinds of skills will become important in the future?
All right. Okay. skills. Okay. Certainly, I'm sure that most that most people would agree that there will be uh, a number or yeah, a number of changes that we have to know in the future about what the important skill is. Uh, I mean that in the future, I predict that some of the important skills, uh, such such as the ability, the ability to manage or yeah to manage or balance between your uh, neuron and your behavior. I mean that's something included in the part of neuroscience area. For example, it kind of the computing or maybe I mean that internet or sorry coding, yeah, coding technologies that useful in our future. uh, it may look like the the technology we can control manage it at automatically, because you know that in the future all of the things, all of our activities will yeah or conduct or maybe managed by the uh, technology like uh, artificial intelligence or internet of uh, things. So uh, it could all possible in the future, like some of yeah uh, internet things or I mean that cyber yeah cyber security. It could be the important skill in the future because you know in the future might be like some of the uh, crime in the cyber or uh, yeah online online media.
Okay. Okay.
That's
The
all.
second idea is cybersecurity, security, right? Which means,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
which means it's a good skill that we need to know, right? That become important in the future. The first one,
Mhm.
I didn't see any relation when you said neuroscience and the brain, and then the technology, like computerized
Yeah, yeah.
technology. I mean,
Okay,
there
okay.
was a gap there that made it hard to get what actually the point there. I mean, like I couldn't find the relation or the connection between those two. From the
Yeah, yeah.
neuroscience
Yeah.
things, like I mean, and I didn't even have the idea why you went that far. I mean, talking about that. Okay. I don't really get that because, yeah, for the cybersecurity, of course, it's a good thing, and I've never thought about it. But when you mention it, then yeah, it's quite possible that it's coming. It is coming to be a great uh, skills that we need to know at least. Why don't you just use the simplest one, the simple things, like for example, like, well, I believe that in the near time,
Mm-hmm.
probably we'll begin to see that skills like video editing or photo
Okay.
editing or anything,
See.
related with editing, like
Mm-hmm.
editor, will be
Mm-hmm.
the skills that people or most people will need. You know that
All right.
nowadays the number of the number of YouTubers in Indonesia has
Mm-hmm.
increased significantly. So that's why
Right.
it's not mentioning the world. So
Mm-hmm.
this kind of skills will be needed precisely. At the same time, I
Right.
think that we also need to consider
Mm-hmm.
about the security of our um, the security of our data when we are online. So that's why the skills like cybersecurity will be something
Uh-huh.
that is needed in the near future in the world.
Okay.
So see,
Okay.
I mean, there's still a relation
uh,
in that. Like, I didn't really get why you put like the neuroscience things. I mean, like, it's very high topic and it's
yeah.
quite
Yeah.
hard topic to get because at the beginning I
Uh,
kind of think that did you say about the new invention or something? Because I didn't really find the relation with the skills. Okay, so the coherence was the first
yeah.
idea that is the problem.
Um,
Mhm.
because I try to think first, so I just need some time to think. Then, so I just say that
So you just
random,
think
yeah,
what is in your mind,
random.
like okay, yeah, that's why the spontaneity needs to be trained. By doing this, then you
Okay.
force your brain to think something that you've never thought about. Okay, okay. Um, next question.
Okay.
Mm, this one. Types of hobbies that will become popular.
Hmm. Sir, about the future is uh, the the limited time of the future is tomorrow or some years or
Okay.
next years
Um,
or
since it's not mentioned, like how many years, then
Mhm.
you can just imagine it by yourself. Like how far you can imagine. It could be 50 years, 20 years, 100 years.
uh
Because there is no specific time, right? So you don't have to
yeah.
worry about that.
Mhm.
That's why the answer is kind of like houses made of plastic. Still remember? Because there
Yeah,
is
yeah.
no
Mhm.
specific time for that. So this
Okay.
question is like
Mhm.
how good you're at predicting question, and then how good
Mhm.
your reason toward your prediction.
Mhm. All right. Mhm.
Okay. This one types of hobbies will become popular in the
Hobbies.
future.
Future. All right. Initially,
Mhm.
I guess that we might we might we might have we might have to know that that's more likely about the hobbies. Uh, I I mean that in the future the hobbies are sorry will about the way we spend the way we spend the time. Yeah. For example, uh, nowadays we still do our hobbies in some maybe sub sport activities, but in the future it will like in maybe an electronic activities. I mean that uh, it could be possible in the future the hobbies uh, will I mean will be conduct in online, online platform, uh, like we can predict in next Olympics there will be some e-sports uh, in the I mean that branch of the sport competition. Uh, yeah, that's also.
Okay. All right. I didn't really get when you said online. Sorry, not online. You said you said I forget.
Electronic.
Yeah, electronic activities. That
Uh,
uh,
I mean that an online maybe an online activities and electronic sport. Is
oh,
that
really?
correct?
Because you said that if I wasn't wrong, you said electronic activities previously.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Um, okay, but then you corrected it by saying that electronic, I forget, electronic uh, things and then online activities or something like that.
Mhm.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I can still see that the ideas are still rounded anyway. Even the grammar as well is like you sometimes forgot to use will. Still, will more likely. Will, I don't know. You forgot to use to be there. Like you're supposed to will be, but
All right.
without
Okay. Okay.
you didn't put be there. So the grammar
Yeah. Yeah.
still hurt in that case.
Yeah. Yeah.
And okay, when you get a question, for example, like this predicting question, what was in your mind?
Mhm.
I mean, like, did you just try to find out the idea on the spot, or you thought about it? Like, I mean, like for example, like when I choose the question this way, for example,
Uh-huh.
have you
Mhm.
got the idea in your mind, or just you look at it while you speak? I mean, like you're searching for the idea while you speak.
Yeah. Uh, it more likely searching the idea while I try to speak
Okay,
and to
see,
translate
yeah,
itself.
that's why the idea is rounded. It's like it's kind of like unstructured because you haven't got any idea in your mind, and then you're searching for it while you speak. That's why sometimes the idea it doesn't connect to the next idea, to the next point, right? So the problem is because you
Yeah.
think that way. So
Right.
well, when you have the question anyway, for those that you've okay, for example, like you've got a question that you've never thought about previously,
Mhm.
before.
Mhm.
Um, okay, at least try to find two simple things related to that idea. For example, the question about public transport. Oh, okay. Sorry, chance to
Yeah.
be, for example, about uh, his shops, for example.
Mm-hmm.
What will shops habit be like in the future? Then try to find two simple things that is related to this topic. What was in your mind? Let's say when I talk about shops habits.
Online, sir.
Online, okay. So it's more online, okay. What again?
Uh-huh.
One more.
Uh, Maybe I still not get any idea.
Okay, more.
uh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but it's not about the cost or the price is maybe not quite difference lah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, mm,
All right. See, I get the point now. So the reason why it's hard for you to speak, especially in part three, the problem is
mhm,
the limitation of the idea. So that's why it's hard
okay.
for you to gather the. It's hard for you to find what idea that I have to do, what idea that I have to put in my talk, in my answer. And that's why when you
Mhm,
start seeking the answer, I mean the points of what you
mhm,
need to answer, then you start
yeah.
ignoring the grammar. That's why when you keep focusing
Yes.
on the fluency and the coherence,
Mhm,
you start
mhm,
neglecting the grammar, not mentioning the vocabulary. That's why like electronic things or get the electronic activities or something because you need to focus on the idea. So my
okay.
suggestion,
Mhm,
um, okay, um, the problem is in the idea. Then probably it's going to be a lot better if you read a lot,
mhm,
especially about some topics in IELTS speaking test. Yeah, the topic in IELTS speaking test is most likely the common thing that happens in our life, like hobbies, like public transport, shops, or something. I mean, try for
mhm,
example, like from this type of question only, like schools.
yeah.
Try to find the information related to schools. Okay, I mean,
Okay.
it could
Mhm,
be something. So start to think. Okay, for example, about schools. Start to think about, for example, what was school like in the past? What was school like in the future? In the present day. So it's for comparing question. And then
right.
what will be the advancement in schools? It could be in terms of the curriculum. It could be in terms of the facility. It could be on anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Or
Mhm,
what are the advantages of online school, for example? That's subtle thing of
mhm,
it. What are the disadvantages of online schools? And then why we have to do the online study right now? Is there any possible means that we can try? I mean, like another possible means that we can have to do the
mhm.
study without the online, for example. I mean, try to broaden your views on that things so that it will be really will help for you. I mean, the point is there are 5 questions in IELTS that is going to be asked in so many
Okay.
so many
Mhm,
topics. So start by
right.
using the most common one that is quite easy for you, and by doing
Mhm,
that,
mhm.
it will help you to get around the idea. Because the problem is still the idea. Okay, that's why it's hard for you sometimes the grammar, sometimes the vocabularies, because you're still sticking the ideas when you speak, and sometimes it doesn't connect.
Okay.
Right? That's the problem. So
Uh,
start gather around the ideas that you need for your answer. Okay.
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 Mhm.
So probably for
Okay, sir.
tomorrow, we'll go
Mhm.
for the advantage question. So I want you to look at the what's the name questions. I mean like the practice one, and I want you to gather around the ideas so that tomorrow we
Mhm.
just have to focus on the structures only. This one.
So I maybe screenshot first, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you can screenshot this one. Okay. Now I see the problem is in the idea. Okay. Right.
Okay.
Then
Okay, sir.
All right. Okay. Now, I guess since time's up, then we have to continue tomorrow. Thank you, Miss Risky, and